This is my role play for motivational interviewing. This client's name is Skylar. She was mandated for a second offense, alcohol use. Here, this is the first session. Hi, Skylar.
Hi,
How are you doing?
I'm okay.
My name's Emily, and I'll be your counselor. So, what brings you in today?
Well, I got a DWI and they told me that I'm mandated, or whatever that big word is, to come here and talk to you because I got a DWI and when I was a freshman, I got in trouble on campus, for having alcohol. And so this is my second time in trouble.
Okay. So, how has that affected you?
The DWI, how's that affected me? I'm not allowed to drive right now. They've temporarily revoked my license, and which means I have to find rides to go to the bars and all that kind of stuff. I'm in trouble. My parents aren't happy with me. It's a lot right now. It's affected my whole life.
That sounds like a lot. That having to get rides and not having your license is
It's very stressful for a 21-year-old who just turned 21, and all I want to do is go to the bars. I mean, what else do you do when you're 21?
Yeah, I understand. I hear you. I hear the frustration. So what do you think your drinking has affected you besides this DWI?
I mean, my parents and everyone tell me that my grades have been slipping. I mean, I used to get A's and B's, and now I'm still getting C's. I mean, that's not horrible. I'm not failing anything. But my parents say that I don't come home as often. I don't hang out with them anymore. But, I mean, I'm hanging out with my friends and stuff.
So I hear you saying that this has affected you, has affected your parents, but how does this behavior worry you?
I mean, I wasn't worried until I got this DWI, and even then I'm not really worried. I wouldn't call it that. It's just kind of an annoyance in my life right now. I'm just trying to get rid of it as quick as I can so I can drive again.
And that's a big deal, driving, because you have to get places, campus, see friends, to go home. It sounds like it would be really hard to deal with.
Exactly. I mean, sometimes in the winter it's cold, and I live on the other side of campus, so I drive to class, and I can't do that now.
So, what do you think would happen if you keep drinking?
I mean, I might get another DWI, which right now I'm currently pending jail time, they say, but they're really not going to throw a 21-year-old in jail for drinking and driving. And I don't know, my grades might slip even more, and if that happens, then I might fail out of college, and I might have to go back and live with my parents, which I really don't want to. But I mean, I thought I was fine until I got this DWI, and it scared me a little bit, but it's not the end of my life right now.
So, what are the positives of your drinking?
I am a social butterfly. I mean, I make friends with every single person, and everyone loves me, and we talk, and we go out, and when I can go out and have lunch and dinner with my friends, then I can get a drink, and we can cheers. I mean, we can take cute pictures and put them all over Instagram and Facebook. So
it's a really, you get to hang out with your friends, you have a good time, you're more outgoing.
I'm way more outgoing.
And yes. I know we've talked about the negatives, but what are some, can we talk about them a little bit more?
Yeah.
So I hear you saying what you get out of the drinking is you're more social, you have a good time.
I have a great time. Everyone has a great time around me.
You enjoy drinking.
I do.
But you have now gotten a DWI charge.
Yes.
And you have gotten in trouble in the past.
Yes.
And your parents feel that your grades are slipping.
Yeah.
So where do you want to be in 3 years?
If I could be anywhere in 3 years, I mean, I would have plans to go to grad school. I have plans to be in a stable relationship with a boy. And I mean, recently with all of this going on, another negative, my parents just don't talk very much to me. My dad has cut me off financially, and I would like to be back on better terms with them and the rest of my family in 3 years. And if my dad still won't give me as much money, maybe I can have a stable job that I can hold. I would really like to be in grad school. That's my ambitions.
So the fact that you're here shows that something's going on that's not working in your life
Yes.
because you got in trouble.
Yeah.
So would those same reasons that you just talked about, where you want to be in 3 years, be the same for why it might be a need to make the change?
It could be.
Okay,
I
well,
can see that.
let's think of on a scale of 1 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
10 being ready to change your drinking habits, and 1 being not ready at all. Where would you say you're at right now?
Well, right this second, I would say like a 3 or a 4. But before I got my DUI, I would say a 1 or even 0. I mean, I didn't think I had a problem. I don't want to say this DUI scared me or DWI. I don't know the correct terms these days. I don't want to say it scared me, but I mean, I'm in the system now and I'm pending jail time. So now, personally, right now, I would say a 3 or a 4, maybe a 3.5.
Okay, well, how would you feel about over the next week writing down your drinking habits? Like,
Do you mean like how often a day I drink, what I drink, or
how often and what you drink,
okay?
and the amounts.
I guess as long as I can remember to do it, I'll do it.
Okay, so let's wrap up for today, and we'll talk about that next time you come in.
Okay.
Okay, I'll see you next week.
Okay. Have a good week.
Okay, you too. This is session 2. Hi, Skylar.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing better.
Good. So let's talk about your drinking journal. What did you find about your drinking habits?
Well, I'll start with, since today's Wednesday, or I'll start with last Thursday since we met last Wednesday. Last Thursday, I recorded that I didn't have any drinks because every time I kept looking at the alcohol bottle or the beer can, I saw your face and it scared me. And I saw the police officer with the blue lights, and so I just didn't even want to go there. It was just too scary. But the next day was Friday, and everyone goes out on Fridays. It's the weekend. What else do you do? So I had 4 shots before I left. I know 2 people bought me 2 beers, and after that, I didn't really count. I mean, I ended up blacking out, and I guess someone drove me home because my car wasn't there, and I woke up in my bed the next morning. So I don't know. Saturday, it was my friend's birthday, so we went out to lunch, and I had 2 more drinks at lunch, and I came home and I napped because I was still a little hungover. And then that night, my girlfriends just came over and we just started watching movies. So I had 3 beers Saturday night. And Sunday, my mom called me and gave me a guilt trip of the century and told me I need to stay in, I need to watch church online on YouTube, you know how they do those things, and I need to do my homework. So once again, my mom, and she called me like 10 times. Can you believe that? There was no time for me to even have a drink in between all the times she's calling me. So Sunday I did nothing. Monday I had 2 because I was so over school and stressed. I just needed to go to sleep. And yesterday it was Taco Tuesday, so we went to the Mexican restaurant and I had 4 margaritas. And today it's way too early to start drinking. I mean, this is an 8 o'clock appointment.
So, what did you find looking at that? How did that make you feel? Or
I mean, I guess it made me realize how much I'm drinking. And I didn't drink Sunday and I didn't drink Thursday. So I'm only drinking 5 days of the week. I'm not drinking 2 of the days, which is good. But looking at how many drinks I had and how often I drink kind of shook me a little bit to reality, I guess you could say, because everyone's been telling me that I have a drinking problem and I could go down the road of an alcoholic if this happens, and really putting it down and making it slap me in the face with this kind of made me realize. But I mean, I really enjoy drinking.
So, remember how last time we talked about where you wanted to be in 3 years?
Yes.
How does your drinking like you usually do, how does that fit into your 3-year plan?
Wow. I guess I didn't imagine it I mean, I kind of have been living in the here and now, I guess, but if I'm in grad school, I don't have time to drink like that. And if I hold a steady job, which I hope to, then I would need to have my license to drive there, so I couldn't be getting DWIs all the time. And I definitely couldn't be in jail if I wanted to go to grad school and have a job. So I guess the drinking as it is now doesn't fit. I mean, it doesn't mean that I can't go out and have a drink with my girlfriends at dinner, but I can't be blacking out on bar floors and hanging out like this, like I am in 3 years if I want to keep following the way I want to.
So, you remember how we did the scaling last time, too? So, after talking about all of that, on that scale of 1 to 10, 10 being ready for change and 1 being not ready at all for change, where do you think you are last time you were at a 4?
Mm-hmm.
Or 3 or 4 instead of a 2? Where do you think you're at now?
I mean, looking at this and thinking of my goals and stuff, I guess maybe a 7, maybe a
7?
I wouldn't go as high as 7. I'd probably say a 6. Okay. A firm 6, I think.
So, do you know what the stages of change are?
I've never heard of that.
Okay, the stages of change are something everyone goes through every time we're trying to change something. There's 6 stages. The first stage is pre-contemplation. The second stage is contemplation. The third stage is preparation. The fourth stage is action. The fifth stage is maintenance. And the sixth stage is relapse. So let's talk about a little bit about what each one is. Pre-contemplation is when you're not thinking at all about making a change. And that's where you were before you got the DUI.
Yes,
right?
I definitely think so.
Okay, so, and last time when you came in after the DUI, you were at a 3 or 4, so that was more of the contemplation stage where this could be a problem and maybe I do need to make a change. And now I feel like you're kind of moving into that preparation. How can I change?
Yeah.
Where do we need to go? But I think it's important that you know the rest of the stages, because in preparation you're making a plan for how you're going to change, and then in the next stage, the action stage, you're implementing that plan. And then once you implement that plan, you still have to do work to keep that change going. So that would be the maintenance, sustaining the change. And no one's perfect, so sometimes we have relapses. And you can think of this not just as in drinking, but in everything we do. Say you want to start dieting or you want to go to the gym. Those
try
things,
all that. It does not work.
So you have to go through these stages, each one. So do you think we're right now in the preparation stage for planning how can we do this?
I think so. I mean, I think when you kind of asked me about the 3-year, I'm subconsciously making a plan for myself and saying I can't keep drinking like this, and I'm planning to only drink on the weekends, or I'm only going to drink one night when I have homework or I don't have class until later. I think I'm kind of preparing myself to make a plan like that.
Okay, well let's talk about a time when you have been successful in making a change. Can you think of a time?
I mean, I don't know if this really applies, but when I was a senior in high school and I was looking at colleges or looking at what to do after high school, there was a local community college, and I was really kind of debating if I wanted to go the 2-year community college or the 4-year college route. And I was over high school. I was over school, and so that's why I was thinking the 2-year, just get it done quick. But my family, my cousins, my sister, my dad, my mom, everyone, my friends were telling me, go the 4-year. Not only do you have fun, you get it done in 4 year and you can get a better job. And so my dad kind of told me, like, I mean, everyone in my family has gone to a 4-year and gone higher, got their doctorate and everything. And my aunt is one who only went to the 2-year program, And I mean, she's nothing but working at a fast food restaurant right now. She's like the manager or something. I do not want to be there. And some of my friends stayed and did the 2 year, and I don't want to be them. They're not leaving our small town, and it's not to be rude, but it's gross. I don't want to stay there, and I don't like the way they're acting, and they still hang out with everyone from high school that doesn't move. And so I ended up, obviously, because I'm here, coming to a 4 year school, and I think that was it was a big decision. I guess it was a big change that I had to go through too. And my parents were a lot happier with me that I did that. And I was happier, to be honest. I was much happier because it's nice to be away, and I made new friends here.
And at
Yeah.
the end of making that decision, whose decision was it?
It was mine.
It was your decision. But it sounds like you had a lot of supports
I did.
helping you
I did.
to make the right decision for
My
you.
family is so close knit, and anything that is big happening, everyone's right there with each other.
So do you think that they would be good support systems for you in trying to make this change of your drinking habits?
I think so, because I think my parents are the main ones who want it to stop and want it to get better and get my grades back. So I think they would definitely. And my sister calls me all the time and tries to convince me not to go out and drink and stuff.
Okay, so let's move to talking about your plan. You said you had thought a little bit about how you would go about it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe only drinking on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
And what else were you thinking?
I mean, well, on Wednesdays I don't have class until 3 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I only have one class, and I rarely have homework for that class. So Tuesday nights is Taco Tuesday, and we have a thing where we normally go out. And so maybe I can do like drink on the weekends and drink on Tuesdays, or only let myself drink 2 or 3 nights a week and write down and make sure that I pick it and tell my friends and stuff that I'm trying to do this for myself so everyone can be supportive of me.
I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great plan. So maybe over the next week you can start moving to the action stage, putting those plans into action. So the next time you come in, we'll talk about the changes that you've made and how they've worked and how they haven't worked, because sometimes they don't go through as planned. So we might have to rethink.
Okay.
Okay? So we'll talk about that next time, okay?
Okay.
I'll see you then.
Thank you.